Hey everybody, welcome back. This is gonna be fun today. All right, cheat code number 1, the crib sheet. Now, I am an educator, and one of the things that I've learned is cheating sucks. Yeah, but shh, don't tell any of the other teachers out there. This feels like cheating. And the thing is, the whole reason I came up with the title, short-term rental cheat codes, is because of this tip right here. All right, so have you ever heard of the term crib sheet? If you haven't, I'm gonna define it for you because most of you, my guess is you have never cheated before. So here's what it is. It is a little piece of paper that you write all the answers to the test on, all right? Now, what if you had a tool that had all of the answers for you, pre-programmed and ready so that you could look at it and figure out if this property is gonna actually pay you or not? That feels like cheating, right? Am I crazy? Do I feel like that feels like cheating? So, I'm gonna share it with you. You ready? You want it, right? This is something, okay, all right. Airdna. This is a tool that is your crib sheet, okay? Now, you may have seen MTV Cribs. That's where you go and they had these amazing luxurious places that these famous people, usually musicians, good rappers, all these different people, you get to go see their amazing houses, right? So this is crib in 2 different ways. Your crib as in the place that you reside, and also your crib sheet because it feels like a cheat sheet. So we're gonna go to Airdna. I'm gonna show you one of the cool features that Airdna has. It's called the Overview, that even lets you know whether or not this is going to be an area that makes any sense at all to pursue. All right, let's go there. Let's check it out. We're gonna use Salt Lake City as an example. This is Airdna Market Minder, and this section right here, the overview section, is so powerful, all right? Now, when you are looking to invest in any area, you wanna first look at the overview. Is this going to be a place where you can actually make money? Right, so here's how you read this, right? The market grade right here, this is 66 out of 100. A market grade is basically saying how in demand is this market? Now, right here, your average daily rate, sometimes abbreviated as ADR, this is what you can expect over the course of the entire year. You've got your highs right here in February, right? 164 in Salt Lake, and then your lows, 140. Right? So that's gonna be your spread throughout the entire year of what you could charge every single day as your average daily rate. And then your occupancy rate, 75%. What this is gonna tell you is how often people are booking your place if it's actually producing the way that the rest of the market is. And then right here, here is your gross revenue, what you're going to be bringing in, and whether this meets your goals or not is gonna really determine whether or not you choose this as a market that you wanna check out. Let's check out the average daily rates, what that looks like. So if you click view rates, you can see for an entire house, $187. If it's professionally managed, $266. And then luxury, that's that high-end one, the Luxe Queen Bee style, $369, right? These are your average daily rates here in Salt Lake. So if you're able to cash flow your property using this right here, that's gonna allow you to make a much more educated decision long term. Do you actually feel like this is gonna work, or does the data say no? If the data says this is not going to cash flow you, why are you gonna do the property, right? You wanna make sure that the money is going to be safe and also that the numbers make sense, right? The math will tell you what to do. If you don't follow the math, you're just guessing. So follow the data. Now we're gonna come back to your occupancy rate. Now, when you're looking at occupancy, this is going to fluctuate throughout the entire year, right? You have something called a high season and a low season. And that seasonality is going to totally change the way that your property produces. Some areas have multiple seasons and some are all seasons. So let's look at Salt Lake. Let's see what this data is telling us. We're gonna go to the 90th percentile as well. Look, 90th percentile, those that are producing at the highest level in this area, they're pretty darn close to 100% booked. Now the 75th percentile, these are people that are producing better than 75% of the market. All right, and look, their average right here in September 2019, 90% occupied. Let's move over here a little bit more close to home. August 2022, it was also 90%. So if you're performing at the top 75% in this market, you can expect around 90% occupancy. What does that mean for your gross as far as being able to make money? You're going to take this 90% and you're going to times it by your average daily rate. That right there will give you a good guesstimate of whether or not this is going to work for you. Okay. All right. Now, when we go to revenue, here's one of the ways you can look at it. Are you going to be looking at purchasing an entire home or renting an entire home, a private room or a shared room? Because these are going to be drastically different in your revenue potential. So an entire house, look at how different these prices are on a monthly basis, right? We're going to look at the 90th percentile. If you are here and it's an entire home, look at this. You are going to average $5,500 if you're talking about in September 2019. And right now, let's look in August 2022. This one is $5,783, right? Pretty darn consistent the last few years. At the high end of this, your revenue potential is around $9,633 in the 90th percentile, but it drops to $5,000 on the 75th percentile. So you want to check this out. Are you going to be able to produce at that high of a level? Because if you're at the 50th percentile, look how different your results are. You're going to be at the $2,728 level, okay? So check yourself. Where do you feel your skill level is? How much have you been able to actually produce in the past? And then do you feel confident that you can hit that 75th percentile or higher? If you don't feel confident at that 75th percentile, run it more conservatively and say, all right, does this property still work if it is producing at the 50th percentile? And if that still works, you may have a deal. If it doesn't, then there are plenty of properties out there. All right, let's go back to the slides just for a moment. When you're using Airdna, I'm not going to teach you every single part of understanding Airdna. All I'm going to say is you gotta get this in your tool belt. This is such a useful tool and it will help you be mindful of the market. It helps you know not only what is out there that's already producing, but how you could potentially level up. Right? If you're producing currently at the 25th percentile, what are those in the 50 and the 75th percentile doing that allows them to produce at that level? Are there amenities that they have? Are there ways that they're marketing differently than you? What is it that you can do to increase your likelihood of being able to be effective and produce at a higher level? Now, being more market mindful, that is what this is all about. Education is here to help us implement what we learn. At the end of this, if all you did was really understand your market because of the things that you learn on Airdna, suddenly, man, you can be much more confident in your decisions when you're purchasing or renting any property. All right, I have a story for you. I was with my real estate community and we had a game, all right? This game was about how you take an Oreo, you put it on your face, right? And we were trying to see who in our entire group could get that Oreo to go down their face into their mouth without touching it, all right? The rules were you can't touch it with your hands. And because I like to think outside the box sometimes, I asked the person that was giving the rules, like, I said, so can you explain these rules to me one more time? And he's like, all right, the only rule is you cannot use your hands to get this. And the Oreo can't touch the floor. I was like, all right. Perfect, I know how I'm gonna win this. So when they said go, I took the Oreo, I dropped it on a desk, and I ate it off the desk. And I was the fastest at getting my Oreo eaten. Now, if you're like, wait a second, that's cheating. You shouldn't be doing that. That was actually not a rule. You could use a desk. So sometimes when you are using things like this, it feels like you're cheating. However, success leaves clues. Do the things that successful people do. Do the things that will make it so that you have the highest potential to earn what you deserve.